Now you look at the current era, like this is, you could say, before Islam was Jahiliyat al-Ula, the first era of ignorance. Now we can say we are almost in Jahiliyat al-Ukhra, the second era of ignorance, post-Islam. Nowadays, things have went to the opposite extreme. Nowadays, they seem to be so keen, and I think it's superficial though. Superficially they'll say, oh, we want to give women the same rights as men. I'll explain why it's superficial in a second. Oh, we want to give women the same rights as men. And in doing that, they have totally released any sort of, like control or superiority that a husband or a father or an older brother, if his sisters are young, should have over these women. And they want to release them from this. And this tends to lead to all sorts of excesses and problems in society. See, look, there's an Arabic saying, Al-Jahilu imma mufrit or mufarrit, which means an ignorant person, a jahil, an unlearned person. Either he's at one extreme or the other. Either he'll be, totally, give them no rights, they're animals. We have to use them as we want to. Or now give them all the rights in the world. In fact, give them more rights than us. So they'll go to one extreme or the other. Either it's all hate, or love. Never the middle path. And the middle path's always the best path. Yeah. Whereas the reason why Islam says that number one, Islam says they've got rights just like we have rights. But Islam says, but at the end of the day, the man has a slightly higher status. And the reason for that is as follows, right? There are benefits not only to the women, there are benefits to the women folk. Because when we say to women, look, if you guys want to work, fair enough, you guys can, work within the boundaries and the limitations of Islam. Within the boundaries and the limitations of Islam. But we have, in Islam, a woman is not actually responsible for her own financial, for herself financially. Either when a girl is a girl, then she's the responsibility of the father. Or if her father passes away, then her older brothers, or her uncle, etc., chacha. Yeah? And when a woman gets married, she's the responsibility of her husband. So imagine a woman, her husband, they say, look, you can work if you want to, but as long as you work with the limitation of Islam. And she's like, okay, and she does that. She keeps her niqab or her headscarf or whatever, and she's working in a good, safe environment. But at the end of the day, whatever money she makes, she doesn't have to pay half of the mortgage if she doesn't want to. If she wants, she can spend all her money back to India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, or buy a nice car, buy some jewelry. Obviously she has to be. We're not saying, oh God, wasting your money. But at the end of the day, a woman is not actually responsible for her own financial self. She is the male's responsibility. And so, number one, in Islam, because she's our responsibility, because my daughters are my responsibility, because my wife is my responsibility, isn't that extremely beneficial to the woman? Now, if she does want to work, then she can take care of, then whatever money she's got, sorted. It's all for her. And if she doesn't want to work, then she doesn't have to be forced and compelled, you've got to go to work, you've got to help me with the mortgage. No, it's her money. If she wants to work, and if she don't want to work, it's not obligatory upon her to work, but we have to work. So in Islam, not insist that women have to go out and work, they are the male's responsibility. It's a right they have over us. Their financial upkeep is our responsibility. So it's obviously beneficial to women. Number one. Number two, through the position that we have of, we've got a right, but we've got slightly higher rights, and ideally, women, they tend to take care of the children. And they take care of the children better than we do. Yeah? Women, they tend to take care of the house. They take care of the house better than we do. So what I'm saying is, this position in Islam, it's also in accordance to nature. Yeah? If a guy decides to go out and say, I'm going to take care, I'm going to be the house husband, and she goes out to work, yeah? I very much doubt whether most men could do as good a job in the house, or forget the house, imagine you do a good job in the house. I very much doubt whether a husband could do such a compassionate job with his children as the mother could. Imagine he gets a bottle and he takes care of the milk that way, okay? But men, we're not naturally as sensitive or as compassionate to our children as mothers are. So, mothers, Allah Ta'ala has given them I think there's a hadith, Allah Ta'ala has given them was like 99% or something like that, or 99 times more element of love than fathers have, something along those lines. So, women, mothers, they do a far better job in the house with the kids, of the kids. And finally, through giving women the so-called complete freedom which the West claims to have given, this also leads to problems in society. Yeah? If men think, okay, I can wear my my shorts up to here, whatever. Obviously, you're not covering yourself though. It's supposed to be down to there. And we think, okay, we can do that as well. We can wear clothes as we like. And look at all the bihayai and the immodesty that it's spreading in the Western world. The position Islam has, it's not only beneficial to women, but they don't have to take care of themselves. It's our burden. It's also beneficial to society. Because otherwise, through giving women all this so-called freedom, it leads to fitna and fasad and troubles. And, half the time, you hear about stories where some crazy guy comes out of a nightclub and then he'll some sort of an attack upon a lady who's coming out of a nightclub. And then if some judge has the guts and the honesty to say, to be honest with you, that woman should be responsible for what's happened because she was dressed in an inappropriate way. She had a miniskirt up to here. She was all drunk. She was like showing everything. Then people will come out with all this nonsense like, oh, wait a second. How dare that judge say something about women? But the fact is, we need to be responsible for our acts. We need to be responsible, for what happens. If I astaghfirullah tomorrow, I don't know, I'm busy emailing away while I'm driving. I'm emailing away, typing away while I'm driving. Then something happens, I'll say, oh, how could it be my fault? I'm a fantastic driver. So what I'm saying is, the position Islam has given to women is beneficial on 3 different grounds. For women, for society, and for the home, for our little homes. Unfortunately, with women in the Western world, and even our women who grow up in this environment, they think to themselves, I must dress in a certain way. I must look a certain way. And only then do I have a standard, then I'm professional. And then I'll get a promotion in the professional world. In Islam, mashallah, the way we see it, there'll be a Muslim sister, she'll have a niqab on, or a headscarf, or whatever it might be, and we'll respect the person in that libas and in that attire. We won't think, I'll respect this person depending on how they look and how pretty they are. Yeah? Even us, we're restrained. We're supposed to keep a beard ideally. We're supposed to wear certain clothing. I can't just turn up in boxer shorts. It doesn't work like that. Yeah? So, we're restrained. See, Islam is all about giving people the right freedoms. Definitely giving women a lot of freedoms. They're certainly not like the way they were in the past. Before Islam, we've given them a lot of freedom, we've given them respect. Islam teaches mutual respect. Islam teaches mutual appreciation. Islam teaches tolerance. But Islam also says that our human rights, no matter whether male or female, they're limited. Because then there's something called Allah's rights, which the West has forgotten. The West says, no, there's human rights, definitely there's human rights. But Allah's rights, they laugh at you. If you try to say to some guy, what about God's rights? What are you talking about? They'll start laughing at you. Well, Islam says, no, there's human rights and there's Allah's rights. Well, these people don't want to know that. Now, on this ayat, let's think further about this ayat. Now, there's a very interesting little masla, or a very interesting some beautiful points which can be extracted from this ayat. Allah says, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي عَلَيْهِنَّ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. And for women folk, i.e. against their men, there are rights similar to that are against them, which are for the men. So Allah Ta'ala says, in this ayat, Allah doesn't say that you must busy yourself in attaining your rights. Allah is not encouraging us, attain your rights. Men folk, attain your rights. Women folk, attain your rights. Allah Ta'ala turns it the other way around. Allah Ta'ala says, look, you got to fulfill your rights, menfolk. And women, you got to fulfill your rights as well. So Allah Ta'ala puts the emphasis on fulfilling rights. Allah Ta'ala does not put the emphasis on attaining your rights. And nowadays in the world, this is the single thing which people don't do. And this is the single thing which we have turned it around the opposite way. We are all really concerned about getting my rights. Hey, I deserve this. I should be getting that. And this is mine as well. Someone passes away or something, everyone's keen. This is mine. This is mine. May I? Yeah, or don't sell that without talking to me. You know what I mean? It's mine. Everyone's keen about taking the rights. Husband, wives, half the time they fight. Why are they fighting? The wife's saying, you haven't done this for me. And you haven't done that for me. And the guy's saying, hey, you haven't done this for me. So our fights amongst ourselves, they all tend to be for getting, for number one. Getting for me, getting for me, getting for me. We're not concerned about what I can do for you or what I need to do for you. We're not concerned about that. Allah says, look, preoccupy yourself in fulfilling other people's rights. When you fulfill their rights, they'll fulfill your rights. And when you fulfill their rights, that's their rights achieved. And when they fulfill your rights, that's your rights achieved. So Allah says, be mainly focused about giving. And when you're giving to them, they'll give to you. So with you giving to them, you'll get what you want. And when they give to you, and when you give to them, they'll get what they want. And when they give to you, get what you want. This is the way I see it, right? Imagine, right, tomorrow someone passes away and you stand to gain something. But you know there's somebody there who's quite dodgy and he'll give, he might not give. The way I see it, the way Vishnu was thinking, look, if it happens, I'll get what I'll get. If I don't get, whatever, man. I'll leave it up to between Allah and him. Secondly, if you look at this ayat, Allah Ta'ala first mentions the rights for the women folk, for the wives. And he then secondly mentions the right for the lahunna and alayhinna. Allah Ta'ala first says that there are rights for women. And then he says, there's a right for men as well. And the reason for that is, men, we're physically stronger. We tend to, have, everything is in our favor. So we will physically get our rights off our wives if we need to. But they are the weaker sex. They are the weaker partner. So Allah Ta'ala say, look, just because you guys are stronger, that doesn't mean you just go around getting your rights. It's important for you to fulfill their rights first. Yeah? So us men folk, we should be primarily concerned, look, let me fulfill my wife's rights. And Allah forbid, imagine she doesn't fulfill my rights, right? I'll forgive her, and inshallah, through me fulfilling her rights, she'll fulfill mine as well. Next, Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَهُنَّ مِثْلُ الَّذِي. Allah Ta'ala uses the word mithla. Allah Ta'ala says, and for women folk, against their husbands, there are those rights as there are against them, i.e. for their husbands. Allah Ta'ala uses the word mithla. Now mithla means similarly. So Allah Ta'ala is saying, look, in the same way, the rights that are upon the husband and wife, they are both wajib and incumbent upon both parties. Husband can't think, I'll tell you what, there's loads of things I need to get off her. She needs to do this for me, she needs to do that for me, she needs to do this for me. Yeah, fair enough. But similarly, there are also, similarly, there are also many rights that she has against you. So your rights, in this little, marriage of yours, they are equally obligatory upon both of you. Similar, as I mentioned before, Allah mentions a husband's rights, that he has rights against him. Allah mentions that, so Allah says, look, musabaqatul khair. You need to quickly try your best to fulfill the rights that she has on you. And inshallah she'll do yours as well. Another word here, bil ma'ruf. Allah says, there are rights for the women folk in a similar fashion as there are rights against them in an equitable way. Ma'ruf. Very important word here, ma'ruf. One word.